How's it going, guys, and welcome to my channel again. I got you a bunch of softboxes here. These are all B&H brands in case you're looking for additional softbox, because as you know, there's no such thing as too many modifiers in a bag. I'm always adding different shapes and types of softboxes in my bag because we have several sizes here. They all do different things. Right here, starting with this one here, acting as a key light right now, is the Angler Quick Open Parabolic 26-inch. Right here above my head, even though I don't have hair, is acting as a hair light right now, is the Impact Luxbanx Octa 24, which also serves as a very portable way to do your lighting outdoors, because this is also being powered by the Generate Porta Bright, which is also a portable light. So you can actually combine both the Generate Porta Bright and this one here to take it on the road, so your assistant can actually hold it anywhere. So this whole thing makes a very portable way to shoot your video. And also here is the Angler Silverbox, which is designed for hot halogen lights and also designed for your LEDs as well. So this is a little tiny 18-inch box here, but it's a little bit beefy and heavy because of the very thick fabric, which again allows you to hook up very hot lights here up to 500 watts. And right here I have the Angler Fast Box. This is actually one of the newest releases that they did here. This is primarily for photography, and this thing was set up in less than 7.5 seconds. I actually made a review here, so it's right here if you want to see. Now, the main reason why I wanted to make this video here is not only to show you guys the many options for additional soft boxes, is because a lot of people, they have an enormous difficulty in actually setting up soft boxes, especially the ones that are not quick open or the ones that comes like with the umbrella kind of thing, right? I'm talking about the ones that use a traditional speed ring, and usually when people set it up, they keep fighting with the rods and everything. It's very difficult for them to do this, especially when they take it down. They think they're gonna disassemble this whole thing, remove the baffles here. You don't have to do any of that. So once you get the hang of it, especially this type of system here, it's gonna be maybe almost fun, I would say, because you're gonna be able to set it up and tear this down in a matter of seconds, and no more frustration fighting with the softbox. And as you can see, each brand features a very nice bag here. It's not padded, it's just a soft box, right? But the actual fabric is thick enough to accommodate a soft box here very nice and safely. And a quick disclaimer, they sent me the soft boxes here for me to check it out, and I get to keep all of them, of course. And if there's something I don't like about any of the soft boxes here, I'll let you know. And also, there's no approval to do. I just do my review here, I upload the video on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. This soft box and this one here, they require a traditional speed ring mount, which also not only limited to fit your Bowen's mount, as long as you have the actual speed ring for the correct light. This also works with Broncolor, Generate, whatever light that you have, as long as you have the correct speed ring. But the outside of the speed ring is the same thing, which is the same thing that you actually put the rods in here. They always include a spare parts, an extra rod here, so in case you lose, you don't have to order an extra piece like this here. It always comes included with the soft box on the bag. And as you notice, this one here is straight, and this one here is pre-bent on purpose from the manufacturer. This one here belongs to the Lux Octagonal 24, which is also a very easy softbox to mount because of the size of 24-inch. This one here is a rather tight fit because it is also a very deep softbox, and it is an 18-inch. So this is the one with the pre-bent that goes in here. But with the technique that I'm going to show you guys here, even if they didn't bend this here, it will be very easy to actually set this up here. The Quick Open Parabolic 26-inch softbox here will be the primary one that I actually would use for key lights, because it is a bigger light source. This light can do two things: can provide a lot of light spread, which provides a very nice and beautifully diffused light, or sometimes it's going to be a speeding light where you don't want. In that case, if you want to add a grid to it, they make a grid, but that's an additional purchase. It does not come included with the softbox here. Same exact way with this one here, even though 18 inches is a very small area of light, but there are cases, for example, hair light and things like that, when you want the minimum amount of light spill, they also make the grid for it, and this is also an additional purchase. Now, this Impact Luxbanx Octa 24 here, at the time of this video, and I don't know if the B&H is going to be actually doing a permanent thing kind of deal here, because the actual grid comes included with the softbox. I don't know if you want to check this a couple months later and the deal is not there, but right now the grid is actually included with the softbox. All other softboxes here, the grid is actually separate purchase. And one more thing, most grids that you get, they usually come with this little noisy cellophane paper here, which is gonna be breaking very easily. Now, this softbox and this one here, it comes with a actual little pouch here, and the grids are made of nylon inside, so it's actually very easy to open and put it back in the box here, because large grids I often have to use the actual softbox here as a table when I'm done shooting. So I have to kind of use this as a table right here until it forms some sort of a circle, and I can actually finish compressing here and actually putting it back in the bag. But this one here, as you can see, it opens this way. Now to collapse this whole thing here is rather easy. I don't know why, but I usually start with the logo here. Actually, it provides an easier way because I can see the see how this thing is almost like pre-bent. So it's very easy to put it away. It doesn't take 5 seconds, it takes a little bit, but as you can see, in about 10 seconds, the thing is actually ready to be inserted in the pouch here, which is the same exact size. I don't know, they should have done the same thing here, because this one actually comes with a little plasticky little cellophane paper or plastic, right? But this one's here, they come with this nice little bag here. So here's an example, show you guys here the light without grid and how it looks like. First without the hairlight, and then adding the hairlight. And now an example with the grid, you can actually have the key light with the grid and the hairlight without the grid, or both with the grid. Just so you know, once you install the grid, you're gonna have more light spill control, but keep in mind that you're gonna have to increase the exposure because the light source becomes smaller. Since the softboxes here, they actually assemble in a different way, so I'm going to be showing you guys here separately how to set up the softbox here. Again, this requires a traditional split ring. This one here is a quick open kind of system. So I'm going to be showing you guys here how to properly set up and how to properly collapse the softbox as well. Inside the bag, you're going to find your softbox and the grid. To open, this opens on the side here, and then you zip it down. Remove the softbox. As you can see, everything is in here. You don't need to remove anything. So once you actually set this whole thing up, put the internal diffusers and the outside diffusers here, leave it like this forever. Then make sure you open up the velcros here. Now I have used the technique for years, which the traditional rings with the softbox, I usually bend the rods a little bit when I'm actually halfway open here. So right now it's extremely easy. And then what you want to do is to simply lift the rods here. They lock automatically, as you can see. So to start assembling your softbox here, what you want to do first is to make sure your thumb is on top of the silver little thing here at the end of the rods. Don't put a lot of force on the actual rods. So all your fingers here, you're going to go under, and your thumb is going to be on top of this thing here. So you start. When you are halfway, I have white carpet here, so don't mind my booties, because white carpet is a pain in the ass to keep it clean. So anyway, so when you are halfway through here, that's when you actually start to do a pull up. At the same time, keep your thumb here, and then you slightly bend this by placing the softbox gently on the floor. It's a slight bend, just like this here. Then you finish, like bend, then do your thing. You're gonna realize there's a lot less tension on these rods, and you don't damage your rods, so it looks like this here. And to actually undo this here, all you gotta do is to lift it up, same thing with your thumb here, right? Then you press it down. You lift it up first and then you press it down, and then keep bending, right? Keep bending. Once you are halfway through, there's no need to bend anymore. So all you gotta do is press this button here while you actually pull it up at the same time. As you can see, it is actually fun doing this here. And as you can see, all the rods, they are straight. Some people review that these rods, they bent after the first time you set it up and everything. That's not true. I don't know what they're doing, but as you can see, the rods, they remain straight. And then all you have to do is to fold this down like this here. There's no need to remove anything. You straighten this up here. Preferably close the velcros so everything remains nice and tight and straight like that. Make sure again everything is tucked in here. And then I put it back in the case here. As you notice, it zips up this way and also on the sides here. Also, don't forget to put your grid inside and you're good to go. Now I'm gonna show you guys how quickly it will take to set this up without interruptions. And I'm not gonna go crazy here. It's a normal speed setup because I don't need to go Superman here or anything. Just to show you guys how quick this is in a normal way. And that's pretty much it. Now the Velcro's here, all you have to do is to tighten it up right here, and then you meet the other end, slightly force the other way, like this. You can also put your hand under here, if you want to do everything super neat, just do that. There you go. And leave this one here open so you can actually fit your hand here when you actually mount the actual softbox on your light. So you have room here to maneuver. Or you can also leave the both Velcros open here and then you close them down later. Now to mount the softbox on the light here, in this case I have the Generate Radiance AK230 and that little space here that you left open with the Velcro. You just put your whole hand here, whatever you gotta do. So you have plenty of room and one hand can control any direction you want to go with the softbox here when you mount this in here. Now I also recommend you to align first here and then you lock this rotation thing here. You can do it later, but right now keep everything tight so you can actually come over here, align it, and there you go. Then tighten the light. And to release again, put your hand in here, unlock the thing, the softbox is out. And as you can see, you can control everything with a single hand and it's extremely easy to do. Same exact thing with any other softbox, regardless of the system here, if it is with the regular speed ring or this quick assembly here. Now again, this grid does not come included with the purchase of the softbox here, but this is actually a grid that they make for this softbox. And as you notice, this particular grid here, the Velcro is exactly in the center, so there's no right way or wrong way to install it, so either way is fine. And since this is pretty much a round thing here, you don't have to pay a lot of attention with this, so anywhere is fine. And it doesn't necessarily need to be super neat, but if you want to be super neat, that's even better, because you're gonna close every single gap here. So the one thing that I would actually suggest you to do is to kind of hold this with your finger and then stretch it like this. Stretch the softbox and also the grid. So at the end, you're not gonna have anything pinching the softbox, like making the softbox look like this, right? And there you go. As you can see, there's no pinching on a softbox. This is not like an inch shorter or whatever. This is perfectly designed here. So every corner of the softbox is just fine. And as you notice, when you actually place the softbox down, there's no tummy. This thing remains like, you know, flat, which is what a good grid is supposed to be doing. Because some cheap grids, they kind of tend to do this here. This one here, as you can see, there's no tummy. It remains flat. Now to remove the grid, do not grab from here because you're definitely gonna rip this out, especially some of these grids, they come with a very strong Velcro. This one here is kind of mild, but some softboxes, like some Godox, whew. So what you wanna do is to grab it with your thumb here and then grab it from the actual edges of the grid. Careful. Always pull it from here, from the outside of the grid. There you go. In about 15 seconds the grid is out, no damage whatsoever. Again, do not grab it from here because, trust me, you don't want to do this. This softbox here comes with two diffusers, as you can see. So this is actually how you do the inside here. So I love the fact that you just snap on here. Perfect. Now to close this as perfectly as possible, so to avoid this thing ending up smaller than the softbox, all you have to do is to kind of make sure you stretch it. So put your thumb here, somehow finding a way to stretch it. Like, you know, I'm using this finger here, and also I'm stretching the thing here. And as much as aligned as possible for neatness and also to make sure the grid goes here without a problem. So keep stretching like this here. And then at the end result, you should have a softbox like this here. It's not pinching the softbox on the outside here, so it's pretty much like, you know, flat, and everything is properly attached here. Instead of like looking like this here, like, you know, that kind of stuff, okay? So as long as you stretch everything here, everything will look very nice and pretty. Now this grid comes with this little cellophane, little plastic here, so either this way or to put the grid back in here. I wish this came with a little pouch, but anyway, the best idea to do is to utilize the surface of the softbox as a table, and then you kind of rotate like this here until it forms some kind of a circle, See how easy that is? So the larger the softbox, the more difficult it is to pack up the grid. Tiny softbox is no problem. And there you go. Just slide it in here like this. So every time you use and reuse a grid, it is always going to look like factory, like this way here. Nothing damaged and everything the way it came. Next one, I'm going to be doing the softboxes here. The only difference is the back here, because it looks exactly the same in the front, same way to assemble. It comes with an internal buffer and everything else. So I'm gonna start with this one here first. So this is where I consider myself a master in doing this stuff, because it's not only I've been doing this for over 25 years, I learned it right in the first 2 days. That's it. So these boxes here, they feature a little channel here that you're gonna slide the rod inside, and then it has a very tight pockets on the end here, which the rods are pretty much well secured here. See, it's not falling, but they might. But when you assemble this thing here, the first thing that you gotta do is to make sure the rods will not move out of here. So the first thing you want to do before you do anything here, first make sure the actual mount here is facing you. This one is a Bowens mount, so make sure the Bowens mount is actually facing you, not the other way, right? So facing you. And then the softbox here, make sure you're actually grabbing the actual softbox material, the nylon or whatever this thing is, plus the rod. So grab them both and leaving the index finger and the thumb available for finishing setting it up here. So right now I'm actually using the other 3 fingers to grab the rod, because you don't want to see the rod sliding out of here, even though, as you can see, this is pretty much placed in a very tight pocket here. Then this is when it's easy, because there's no pressure build up here, but it will eventually build up as you continue to do this here. So right now, place it on the first one, and you have to make sure that every single one of those rods, they are fully inserted. They can't be like halfway, otherwise you will break the speed ring. So fully inserted. Find the next rod, make sure it is not the wrong rod. And this thing has a lot of holes here, as you can see. Just, you know, find what makes sense, right? So just ignore this. You can actually mark with a pen here, so the actual spaces, right? So okay, so rod number 3. Again, make sure you grab the rod and the fabric, fully inserted. And then with the left hand, you can actually force it a little bit towards this one here. And you notice that everything is fully inserted here. Now here's the time that you stop, and now you're gonna have to slightly bend the rods on our floor, because it's gonna reduce tremendously the amount of pressure that's gonna be built up in these rings. And it is just as easy to actually remove the softbox out of the speed ring. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 attached, which is pretty much halfway, okay? Then you wanna grab this rod plus the fabric, this way here. And then with the left arm, make sure you kind of bend this way a little bit, as long as you fully insert this. And then this arm here, you want to lift it up, at the same time push it in. That's when you really gotta bend this thing here. Make sure you find the right rods, and then you slightly bend like this. See, all I'm doing is bending like this. You can actually use this arm here to push it down like that, see? So bend it like this, pull it up, and then insert it. Bend it again, because if you do this without bending, it's going to be very difficult to do. So when you bend it, it gives a little space. You're getting at least 3.5 inches of space here. See what I'm talking about? Now we have the very last rod here. This is supposed to be extremely difficult, but when you bend it, it's not. All I did is, and you want to install it, bend it again, make sure this arm here is securing in place, and then this hand here, you're gonna pull this up like this, pull it up and pull it out at the same time. So I'm actually gonna be pulling this off here without any instructions or interruptions. Done. Now let's put it up again. This way, find the next rod. And that's it. Now you're gonna make sure that all the rods are still here by just touching it. Usually this rod never come out of here, again, because its pockets are usually very tight. So here's the grid, and to install the grid here, as you notice, this is a octagon shape. So the shape here does matter, whatever side you choose to install it first. And also you notice that the Velcro here is facing up, and there is no Velcro on the bottom here. So if you actually try to assemble this grid here with the Velcro facing down, it's not going to actually grab a lot here. So make sure the Velcro is facing up this way, and try to match the shape of the grid with the softbox, and also to stretch it a little bit here so the grid doesn't do this to the softbox. So find the right shape here. There you go. You can rotate if you want to. Stretch it. Again, all I'm doing is this here. Stretch it a little bit. So it should look like this here. And the same deal to remove the grid. Make sure that you don't grasp it from here, because you will definitely kill the grid. You're gonna destroy the grid. Make sure you do it with your thumbs here, grabbing the softbox itself and also the grid outside material. No need to rip it out violently. This thing comes off very quickly. Now this softbox here is great for a very portable thing, and also when we want to have a very good amount of control of lighting. And the fact that this is 18-inch, this is going to be one of my favorite things for hair lights, especially if you don't want a harsh hair lights. Somehow if you need a soft light or whatever coming from a boom or something like that. And also this is also made to withstand a high temperature from 500 watt halogen bulbs and less. Now this softbox here is extremely rugged. This material is extremely thick. This is a rather heavy little softbox. But the concept is the same, as you can see here, the actual rods, right? And you notice that these rods, they are pre-bent by the manufacturer on purpose. So when you receive that, they are kind of bent like this here. This is not a defect. It comes like this here, as you can see. And this one here can be a little bit difficult, even for me, because this particular softbox here, I have to actually modify a little bit, because the rods, they tend to slip out a little bit here. So with the rods easily coming off here, expect that to happen. I know it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I actually found a solution that I just did this once. And I actually use a double-side copper tape here. This is the brand that you have to buy. Nothing else. Is a short tape, copper tape, double-sided, indoor, outdoors. Only Lowe's sells this thing. Home Depot does not sell this for some reason. Okay, so you want to go where the Gorilla tapes are and everything. This is located there. I don't know what aisle that is, but here's the picture of the thing. So this is a double-side tape, extremely strong adhesive. And then all you gotta do is to cut a tiny piece like this here, and then you want to put right on the rod, not the side, this other side here, right? And then pretend this is this here. So you're just gonna put one loop here, and then all you gotta do is to insert on a pocket there in an angle. It's gonna go right through, and then make sure this rod is actually facing this way here, the right way, right? Not pointing that way. And then you actually press it firmly right here, and this hasn't moved since. So it's here to stay. So it's a little $4 little solution here, and there you go. Now again, to finish inserting the rings here, you gotta bend this, which gives you at least, in this case, 1.5 inches of space. See, it's very easy to do. So to disassemble this, again, you bend it. Make sure this is actually holding the split ring very firmly. And this hand here, the thumb is everything, and also this fingers here. So you want to pull it up, and at the same time force it down with your thumb. At the same time, you're pulling it out. It's extremely easy, guys. It's just like a joke, almost. Once you get the hang of this thing here, this is actually going to be fun, okay? So again, what I did with the rods, they don't go anywhere. And also notice that the rods, they have their own little channel here, in which is going to slide inside here until it meets the other one here. And then you put your diffusers here after you set it up here, okay? I don't want to undo this here because this is pretty obvious, okay? So the softbox is going to come without none of this installed here. Just the softbox fabric itself, or the rod's going to be everything disassembled, right? So again, with the split ring, with the mounting thing here facing you, because this is the wrong way, so facing you. And then find the first ring here, There you go. And again, they are pre-bent for ease installation. Super easy right now. And again, try to grab the fabric and the rod at the same time, because you're going to need to do this. And then this hand here, you're gonna bend it towards it. Find the next one here again, grab it from the fabric, and then kind of force it down in this motion here. This way. And then keep bending it now. There you go. Bend it. Make sure this is fully inserted. See, this is not good enough. Back it out. Fully inserted. You're gonna break the split ring if you do halfway. 2 to go. And finally the last one. Bend it. And look how easy that is. Trust me, once you get the feel of this thing here, this is no brainer. I don't care if it is a 100 by 100 inch softbox or something as small as this here. The small softbox is supposed to be easy, but not all of the softboxes are. Big softboxes, the pressure build up here is a lot more intense. So this is very easy to take it off. So another technique here that I'm going to show you guys, on a small softboxes, for example, to remove the thing out of here, let's see the best way to explain. So this hand is going to grab it firmly, bend it. This is the hand that bends it, okay? And then you want to pull it up at the same time. Use your thumb to do this type of motion here. It's like you want to pull it out like this, but at the same time your hand is actually pulling it out, but your thumb is actually doing this here outwards to help it out. You know what I'm saying? So pull it up, and then your thumb is right here. Force it that way. At the same time, use your whole arm to pull it out. So bend it, do exactly what I told you. So here, see, my thumb is actually ejecting the thing here. So use your thumb to eject it like this. Bend it, pull it up, eject it. It's so easy, guys. And the same cool thing they use here is this little press on buttons here instead of the Velcro, so you very easily snap them on. Now to put it away, that also applies to this softbox as well, or any other softbox that uses this system here. So the first thing you want to do is to grab the fabric and the rod, and then find a little crease here. There you go. Stretch it like this here. There you go. And then again. Then again. And then start to tuck this in here. There you go. There. Make sure everything is stretched this way here, so there's no wrinkles. Keep the material from breaking. Like, you know, once you store it like this here, this is gonna be a softbox for at least 30 years if you keep it this way here. And that's the end of my review. If you like what you saw, and I hope this video was also useful to you, because nobody likes setting these things up, and I hope you learned a thing or two here, how to quickly set this up. And if you want to give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And even better, if you care to subscribe, that's even better. I really appreciate it. And once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.